What's up, YouTube? Time to introduce another guild battle, and one that I'm actually using today that's really popular with my students and really easy to use, and something you could literally watch this video and have implemented in your class the next day. I call it Dragon Eggs. You can call it anything that fits the theme of your gamification. You could use golden nuggets, or you could, be turning over stones or whatever. It doesn't matter. Mine is medieval, so I call it Dragon Eggs. So let me explain to you how it works. First thing you want to do is you want to just lay out the general idea. And the general idea is, it's like all my review games or all my guild battles, is it begins with a trivia. So again, I use the Jeopardy trivia board as usual, and the kids have to, as a team, select a category, point value, and answer the question correctly. If they answer the question correctly, here's where it gets a little bit fun and exciting, and uses the element of randomness to keep the game fair, and really can be won or lost in the last moment. I just played this game with a group of kids, and it was literally won on opening of the last egg, which jumped them over the team in front, and much to the chagrin of the team that lost and the total excitement of the team that won. So, what you do is you explain to the kids that once the trivia question is answered, they have the option to A, take the points and not open a dragon egg, or B, risk the points and open a dragon egg. Here's what the setup looks like. So, before you start the game officially, and before you start cracking open eggs or turning over stones or mining for minerals or whatever your game is, what you got to do is you got to determine the way that the eggs work. And there's two options for this. Option number one is that the egg value, or whatever's inside the egg, when opened, affects the point total that you earned prior to. Which means if you answered a 400-point question correct and opened an egg that said minus 250, you would take 250 away from the 400 they earned, so the score would just be plus 150 in the end. Or you could say the egg is the ruler, so to speak, so when you open the egg, whatever the egg is totally negates what the point value was. So if you opened another, you answered correctly a 400-point question, and then you got an egg that said minus 250 points, you would then lose 250 points. The 400 doesn't count anymore because you decided to open the egg. The egg stated you lose 250 points, so your score goes down by negative 250 points. So, I often love to play this game twice a year. Once in the beginning, where I do option A, where it just impacts the egg and the question value together, and then later in the year it gets a little bit more stressful, and then opening the eggs becomes more risky when you decide, you know what, the egg is actually the only thing. So there is a chance that you could lose something completely. So option A and option B, definitely want to clear that up before you start. So question right, option A and B decided. Simply crack open the eggs. I've got these little hammers that kids use to crack open the eggs that I found at a garage sale, old school whack-a-mole game. Again, you can do this in any way, shape, or form you like. If your game was Western, they could be, maybe cracking open some little styrofoam pieces that were you painted gold and, mining for gold. They could be turning over stones. They could be opening up boxes. It's totally up to you. Again, as I said in the beginning, mine is medieval themed. We got dragons in medieval times. I called it Dragon Eggs. So I got my dragon eggs at a dollar store, literally for $1 or $2 a package. You can get anywhere from kind of these cool, colorful ones to polka dot ones, small, large. Kids love them because they always anticipate that the bigger and the brighter, the better, but actually they're totally random. So the next thing is, what do you actually put in the eggs? Well, when you put stuff in the eggs, you're going to want to have plus points, minus points, point multipliers, or point dividers. So double your score, or your score is cut in half, scores divided by a third, things like that. If you have items in your game, you can do things like, okay, you gain this item or you lose an item from your inventory. You can have, because I buy these around Easter, I get packages of those little chocolate eggs, and I put a golden egg in one at random, and I put a purple egg in the other. If they find the golden egg in my game, each player on the team receives 1,000 gold. If they find the purple egg, they're poisoned. Their score goes to 0 and they miss their next turn. Speaking of, you can have miss your next turn, go again. Just kind of think about any sort of board game or game that you like, and you can kind of put those factors into the egg. And kids love the excitement of cracking the egg, and is this going to help me, or is this going to be good or bad? And it ends up being a really popular game that is very easy to implement. It takes very little planning and very little setup time. And my whole game was run for $6. So in a world of tightening budgets in education, super cheap too. So take a look at the game in action. So there you have it, Dragon Eggs. A cheap, fun, and effective way to implement a quick little review game the day before a test, or if you just need a break and you want to give the kids a little bit of fun to reinforce some of their concepts that they've been learning. Give it a try and tell me how it goes in comments below. Until next time.